Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the TCU School of Medicine Class of 2026 White Coat Celebration. Let's hear it for our students. Woo! We are so happy to have all of you here. We've been talking a lot with our students during this first week of welcoming them here. We've been asking them to look around at one another, at their classmates and peers and the people that will be with them for the next 4 years of their journey here with us. But right now, I'd like to have everyone take a moment and look around at all of the people who brought them here. Thank you, friends and family and loved ones and support. Another thing that I want to share with all of you is something our students have heard a lot this week, and that is that this is our full house class. You'll hear lots of reference to that, but it really is a moment as we stand here, as we're all here together right now in this room, that we are making TCU School of Medicine history. You all are bringing the house together, and we have students and all 4 years, and we could not be more proud that it's each of you that are joining and marking that monumental achievement for the School of Medicine. So going down in history, you all are making it today. Thank you. I am very excited and proud to be able to introduce our first speaker, our TCU Provost, Teresa Abi-Nadar Dahlberg. Thank you, Dr. Dahlberg.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. This is such an exciting day, and I'm thrilled to be here with the class of 2026 and your families to celebrate. Woohoo! What I love about this ceremony is what I see when I look out into this room. The new class of medical school students with their families and their friends and all of your supporters. Medical school is an arduous journey. The support of your family and friends will help you get through the good times and the rough patches. How wonderful it is that they can be here with you today. You have worked hard to get here for the privilege to care for your fellow human beings with compassion, empathy, and skill. You belong here. You're now part of the TCU Horned Frog community. When you put on your white coat today, it marks the beginning of your journey. I don't need to tell you what this coat represents. You've all seen it in your own family physicians. You've chosen a path that doesn't end with simply a job. Being a doctor is a life's work. You will have a profound impact on many lives, and there will be times of anxiety coupled with the enormity of the challenge, when the thrill of adventure is balanced by the burden of responsibility. During those times, remember the white coat. It represents your integrity and determination, as well as all of the people who helped you to get here today, and the people who will soon influence and support you as you embark on this incredible journey. Wherever your medical training takes you, and we hope that you stay in Fort Worth, wear your white coat with pride. TCU is proud to have all of you as our fourth class of medical school students, empathetic scholars, who will make your mark on the world. We can't wait to see what you will become. Go Frogs!
Thank you, Provost Dahlberg. Okay, so friends and family, our next speaker, you are very likely to have heard something about by now from your new medical students. Our founding dean, Dean Flynn, has spent time with all of the students here today from the very beginning of their application process. That is something that is really important to us and to our school and to him. And your students, I'm sure, I'm seeing some smiles from our students, have shared some of the fun adventures that they've had with our dean and how wonderful it is to have someone who is so involved and so student-centric. I'm very, very proud to introduce our founding dean, he's making me laugh, our founding dean, Stuart Flynn.
Well, thank you, Dr. Nelson. Thank you, Provost Dahlberg. So this has been very tightly scripted. I have been given 9 minutes. But I learned, is that an applause for more? But I learned a long time ago that it doesn't matter how many minutes you give me. If I don't time myself, I'm always done on time. So just, Aaron, we may be 15, 20 minutes into this before I'm done. Yes. You'll have to rip the mic away from me. So first of all, thank you all for coming out. It's a tad toasty out there today, so thank you. Welcome to Texas summer, if you're not from here. It's really my honor to represent this medical school, to be up here sharing this very momentous day with our brand new students. However, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge a few groups inside of the medical school. So first of all, I want to acknowledge our staff who for 6 years now have been putting this school together under a reasonable amount of adversity, which the rest of society has gone through. So thank you, staff. Also want to acknowledge our faculty, who are the individuals over the next 4 years who will train you and your sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters. So thank you, faculty, for being here, but thank you, importantly, for all you do. I want to acknowledge the admissions committee, which behind the scenes put in hundreds and hundreds of hours to screen applicants, to invite applicants to interview, and then to accept applicants, which is how all of you found out that you were coming here. And then lastly, but definitely not least, I want to thank the group of people who have literally spent weeks putting this event together. It's easy for me to saunter on in and come up to the podium and be able to enjoy such a momentous moment. But a lot of people have put a lot of time and effort into this, so thank you also. I'll start now with welcoming students and loved ones. So I'll spend a little time talking about our students. And yes, your heart should start racing a little fast right now because there may or may not be some things that you hear about yourself. Students, you spent the last year Zooming, our infamous Zooming interviews that Dr. Nelson and I are very proud we did not have one glitch. Those are nice applauses that, yes, you had a lot of glitches, but we're just going to be empathetic. So let me acknowledge some tremendous friends and supporters of our medical school in the audience. I won't ask them to stand, but I want to acknowledge Mr. Paul Dorman, who is sitting right in front of me, who the first class are known as the Dorman Scholars, and he funded their first year of tuition and has been a phenomenal partner for this medical school. Thanks, Paul. I also want to acknowledge Barclay Burdan, who is the CEO of Texas Health Resources, a phenomenally accomplished healthcare system, and again, an individual in a system that are phenomenal friends and partners with this medical school. So thank you, Barclay, very much. And I also want to acknowledge a trustee emeritus of TCU, I hope that's the right title, Joan, and her husband, Dr. Tom Rogers, so Joan Rogers, Tom Rogers. Again, just amazing partners, supporters, a couple of the first people I met when I got here, and they have shown me around. Dr. Rogers is an avid golfer, but when I asked him if he wanted to hit the links this afternoon at about 2, he turned me down, so a little disappointed, Tom, in that. So, students, today is all about you, and your families. I hope that's apparent already. It'll become very apparent in the next few minutes when my 35 minutes are up. And I just want to acknowledge the ongoing journey that you have been on to get here. We all know this is not an easy road. I could share some admissions numbers for this school. It's daunting. What your children did, your loved ones, and students, you know what you did. To be here is a pretty big mountain to jump over. So I congratulate you on that. And we very much wanted you to come here. And so from our point of view, you're the perfect match for what we're doing. We also want to be with you for the next 4 years. You've worked hard to get here. You are going to work hard from this point forward. You know that. We know that. And we want to be next to you in part of this journey. I'll frame this last comment by sharing a quote that was said to me a while ago. And I just would like our students to hear this and have it ground a little bit. Recognize that you are not better than any patient you will ever see. You just know more medicine. So just think about that. The more you relate to and understand your patients, the better doctor you will be. So you're going to hear this over and over again, but start to assimilate that, yes, you do know more, but you are part of a team caring for your patient, with your patient being the captain of that team. Let me give you some very quick demographics on this class. We have 61 students, 38 are women. So I want you very quickly in your head figure out how many men are in this class. I saw a couple of you break out into a little bit of a sweat. We have 21 states represented in this class, including 11 from Texas. We have 45 undergraduate universities represented, and we already have 17 students with graduate degrees. So a very accomplished class, so welcome aboard. The students each student puts together a page with photos and comments about themselves, and we put together what is called a lookbook. I want to share a little that I have gleaned by what they have shared in their lookbook. And if their hearts weren't racing earlier, they might want to be racing a little bit right now. First, very handsome class. The most handsome class we've had in 4 years. By the way, I've said that every year. Truly, lots of beautiful pets and very clever pet names. Love that. There's a student here who plays the French horn. I know that sounds random. It is random. But I have a bucket list of instruments I'd like to learn how to play, and one of them is the French horn. But for true confession, I don't play any instruments. But I just think the French horn is very cool to say. Also, very accomplished athletes in this class. College athletes, rowers, track and field, swimmers, soccer players, wrestlers, power lifters. Somebody who sounds like a really serious rock climber. There's also an accomplished pole vaulter in our class. So I also have a bucket list for sports that I would like to master. They include rugby, cricket, speed skating, and curling. So if the French horn gig doesn't work out, I'm working on pole vaulting. And then there was one student who has mastered a sport that I have mastered, and that is called goofing around. Another student does card magic, and yet another puts milk in his bowl before the cereal. Wow. I am going to say when those three make a study group, I want to be a part of that study group right there. We have 2 students named Mitch in our class. So we did some due diligence and found out that our quota of Mitches now is filled to 2030. We have 4 students from Minnesota, and to balance that out, our hockey team, it's what we do in the northern Midwest, is we have 1 student from the University of Michigan. That's an unabashed plug for the University of Michigan. I apologize. Very, very immature of me. And lastly, in this regards, a pet, and this is pretty serious. So it was brought to my attention that there's a basset hound that one of our students has, and the basset hound name is Mo, the same name as our chair of internal medicine. So we can have 2 Mitches, we cannot have 2 Mo's. So I went to our chair and he said he is not changing his name. So Michaela, wherever you are, sorry. Your basset hound's gonna have to have a new name. Let me switch gears quickly. One of your classmates said the best talk I could give would be short. That kind of hurt my feelings. But now I'm very conscious of trying to speed this up. I want to just comment. We hear with great frequency, and I know you hear it, students, about your generation. And when it's older people saying that, it's usually not a positive. Now, if it's any solace, and I hope it is, I've watched that comment having been made about every generation since I started paying attention, so it's not unique to you. And quite frankly, it was said about my generation. I've read your personal statements, and I want to give to everyone else here the first snapshot in their words, who has entered our school on the path to becoming the next generation of physicians. So one student shared, as a volunteer at a clinic, I learned very quickly that healthcare is not well suited for the thin-skinned. Good to know this starting today. Another student, my desire to provide holistic care, love for teaching, and passion to contribute to equality in healthcare have all driven me to pursue a career as a physician. This again is your generation. Another, whenever someone would act in a questionable manner, my grandpa responded, give them the benefit of the doubt. You have no idea what they have been through. I live my life by these wise words and strive to embody his example in my endeavors. Truly, empathy. Another student, very simple. In healthcare, the world becomes my classroom. Simple, profound. Final, characteristics that I believe are at the core of what it means to be a doctor include an educator, empathy, a confidant, a fixer, a believer, a scientist, and lastly, someone who cares. To me, a doctor is so much more than a profession. People often ask, are you sure this is what you want to do? My answer has never been more certain. I love these quotes. After sharing this, students, I want to challenge you not to lose sight of what has driven you to become a physician. I want to ground you with 5 words you will hear many times from us and others. You've already heard them, I know that. And over time, I hope these become part of your guiding light to everything you do. So 5 words, professionalism. This is not a word being weaponized, as I have heard some say, but rather what your patients, your colleagues, your community all expect from you. Ethics. If you wonder if something might breach ethical norms, stop, explore, and reflect. It is too late once someone else, such as a medical board or a jury, decides otherwise. Selflessness, give back to others. It doesn't take more than being selfish, but wow, does it feel a lot better. Equity. You are going to be trained to care for all in your community and our society. I am challenging you to not accept inequities in healthcare. And the last word from me, ownership. What you can control, you own, starting today. Be humble in your success and own rather than blame others when things don't go as planned. In closing, as you now join our healthcare family, which parenthetically, our ability to care for all is being seriously impacted by decisions made outside of our profession, those of us at your medical school, university, and community are passionate to be a valued part of your journey. Again, we are all so happy that you have joined us as our newest class of future physicians. Sincerely, welcome and congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Nelson.
Thank you, Dean Flynn. Wonderful words, wonderful message, and on time. How? Okay, everyone. Well, we are almost halfway there. I know it's exciting. We want to get to what's in all of those wonderful bags and boxes. But this is a part of the program that is really extra special to us. Please join me in welcoming Parminder Deo, our MS1 student who will be representing the class of 2026.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. Good morning. Dean Flynn, respective associate and assistant deans, distinguished guests, class of 2026, and very proud family and friends. It is truly an honor and privilege to be up here representing my class at today's White Coat celebration. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it. We are finally here. Each of us has put significant effort into achieving this goal right here, right now, of entering medical school. And we did it while persevering through a global pandemic. It takes a lot. But today is not just our day, because we didn't get here alone. Look at the loved ones around you. Look at that. There's so many people here, maybe some more than others, but there's a lot of people here who have helped you along the way. And they are the people who have helped you and are going to continue to help you. They are the kind of people, influences, and support you will want by your side as we embark on this amazing, stressful, rewarding journey. And we got some really interesting numbers today from Dean Flynn, and I want to highlight them again. Our medical school class is among the most talented and diverse. Over 60% of our class identify as female. Yeah. We represent 44 undergraduate institutions and 21 states. We admitted our first international students in our class. Yeah. 28% of our class have graduate degrees. We are dancers, we are journalists, we are biomedical engineers, we are musicians, we are magicians, we are college athletes, photographers, researchers, parents, those who identify as LGBTQ+, and first in our families to attend college, and first in our family to attend medical school, and so much more. And even though our class, we've only known each other for about a week now, we have bonded immensely. From day one, I found myself surrounded by genuine, interesting individuals who were eager to establish a sense of camaraderie. Medical school is going to be tough. We know this, we've heard it, but now we're about to live it. But none of us are going to do this journey alone. And I'm so grateful to be surrounded by all of you guys along this journey. And we are going to be those empathetic scholars who are aspiring to transform healthcare. Today, when we put on our white coats, this celebration, this rite of passage is an important one because it marks the beginning of medical school. We are now physicians in training, taking the first steps on a difficult path, a path that we have chosen to pursue, but one that is bursting with potential. Receiving a medical education is a great privilege, and it comes with serious responsibilities. Take a moment to reflect on what it means to don that white coat today. Some of you guys are motivated to become physicians because of illness in your family. Some of us are committed to advocacy and social justice. And some of us have compelling stories of resilience and overcoming immense adversity. Now, as we begin our journey in medicine together, I wish you all the very best in your efforts to create a lasting, positive impact on humanity while inspiring health equity, peace, and justice around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Par. As someone who has had the privilege of being in close contact with this entire class from day one of their first day at the beginning of the week, which for many seems like it might have been months ago already, I want to echo the sentiment about the way that this class has bonded with one another. It really has been remarkable to watch, a privilege to see, and has been noticed by lots of your colleagues, by your upperclassmen, by faculty and staff and leadership. It has been truly remarkable to see all of you come together in such an incredible and supportive way. And let me tell you, your predecessors set a high bar in the way they support each other. So this is truly a testament to your collective character because we were wowed with lots of classes. So congratulations to you. It has brought a smile to many of our faces as we've watched. I told you a little bit about history that you've all heard several times, but we are about to make history once again because all of us in this room get to witness the emergence of what we hope will be a long and rich tradition during our School of Medicine White Coat ceremony. And that is to invite our MS4 speaker who spoke at their White Coat ceremony to come back and address the incoming class. So we will welcome Jonas Cruz to the stage. As he's on his way up, I want to remind everyone that after Jonas's remarks, there will be a countdown. You will see on the screens the countdown to the opening of the white coat. So please, we'll want to have all the students at their stations, family nearby, and then we will join each other in this collective moment of congratulations and celebration. So between then, everybody get ready, and we'll have our closing remarks from Jonas. Thank you.
Good morning. So, it sounds like I'm the last speaker. You guys probably want me to talk for as long as possible. So, as Dr. Nelson said, my name is Jonas Cruz. I am a Dorman Scholar, and as unbelievable as it is to say out loud, I am a fourth-year medical student at the Texas Christian University School of Medicine. Now, I've been asked to speak here today to reflect on what it was like to get my white coat then and what it kind of has transitioned to now. And I can remember getting my white coat, and at that time, I could speak to wanting to be a doctor. I heard the personal statements that you guys had shared in those moments and those powerful convictions to move forward in medicine. And at that time, I could speak to that, and I was so excited to become a doctor. And then somebody put a coat on me, and all of a sudden I said, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. And because I go to TCU, we see patients in our very first week of medical school, and we have a stethoscope, and I was going into each of those rooms and listening to the heart of each patient that came into our clinic, and I wouldn't study anything within cardiology for another 5 months. And so patients would inevitably ask, what do you hear? And I would say, it's in there. I couldn't tell them much more than that. Feel free to use that. And now I stand in front of you as a triumphant fourth-year medical student, thousands of clinical hours under my belt, and I still don't have all the answers. And what I've come to learn is that the residents that I'm working with, the fellows that I'm working with, and even the attendings also don't have all of the answers. And sometimes when you don't have all the answers, it's easy to feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. And I really want you to take in what Dean Flynn and Dr. Nelson and those have shared with you today, and that's you were carefully evaluated by a group that looked at thousands and thousands of applications. Not only did they deem you qualified to be a medical student, to become a doctor, but they specifically and explicitly selected you to be a part of this class and to represent their school as a medical student. You belong here, and I promise you will find your way. Now, along the way, there will be some awkward moments. I encourage you to lean into those awkward moments and embrace the discomfort, because that's how you're going to learn. In those moments when it's awkward, I want you to lean on the community that you have around you. Look at the amount of people that are out here to support you. You have a massive community that will move mountains to help you be successful. Last thing I wanted to add on top of that, now reflecting on what my white coat means, at the time, like today, it's an accomplishment to get your white coat, and for me, it's transitioned into a symbol of trust between the patients that we talk to. It takes a lot of guts for patients to trust us to do right by them, especially as we're learning, and I realize that the trust that I'm getting in clinic is the same trust that I was shown in my first year. My white coat doesn't say how many years I've been in medical school, and I'm still getting that trust from those patients. And so that's something that's pretty special. You don't have to have all the answers, but you do have to work hard. You have to engage in the moments that are in front of you. And when you get stuck, ask, because you're surrounded by people who are taking a lot of time to make sure that you move into the next phase of your life and as a successful, empathetic scholar here at the TCU School of Medicine. Lastly, being a medical student is a blast. I know everybody comes in with goals, and it's good to have goals, but even better than that is enjoying the unique opportunity of being a medical student. No other time in your life will you be able to go see in the same week what's it like to be a hospitalist, what's it like to be a trauma surgeon, to engage in pediatric transplant medicine. It's a very unique opportunity, and I really urge you to go and embrace everything that's there around you. Dean Flynn told us to explore as much as possible. And he said, you can find your specialty late in your third year, and you'll have plenty of time. And at the time, I was like, but really? If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have found the specialty that I'm applying for. And so I'm so thankful I did, and I encourage you to really embrace being a medical student, not just going for a certain goal, because it's a very unique and amazing opportunity. So I said I'd be brief, and from the class of 2023, we're so excited that you're here. It's so amazing to hear the different components of the class demographics and your amazing stories. I encourage you to get to know each other. That was one of the things that stood out to me as I got to know my classmates is, wow, what incredible backstories everybody brings to the table, and these are the people that you're going to be learning from as you're here, and that really does bring a unique aspect to your education. So from the class of 2023, congratulations. Today is not about hard work, even though we talked a lot about it. Today is about relishing the opportunity and the accomplishment that comes with being here with your family members. So congratulations to all of you, and welcome to the TCU family.
Like, so much has built up to this moment, and so when it finally happened, it was just like so many emotions mixed together.
I could have gone to UNC, I could have done a lot of things in a whole different state, but this is where I wanted to be.
During middle school, unfortunately, my grandmother had a stroke. And then she had post-stroke dementia. She never really recovered from that. Without having any medical background, we saw so many physicians who were willing to help us, and really made me wonder if I should pursue medicine, because I wanted to not feel so vulnerable and not know what to do next.
I think one turning point was when my mom opened up to me when I was getting older about how she struggled with endometriosis, and that was actually why she couldn't have any more kids after me. And so hearing her share that with me really made me realize being a physician, so much more about just treating diseases, but really being there for people and helping them make some of the hardest decisions of their lives.
It wasn't until much later in my life when I really realized I wanted to be a physician. I worked for NBC, which took me to New York, where I covered the spectrum of news. And a lot of it happened to be health and medicine. I went out as a producer to film this story in Long Island. And there was this third-year medical student who was doing magic tricks for students in the cancer ward. And I got to see this other side of medical journalism, but also medicine, where he was not only helping the patients kind of get through their fears going through their cancer treatment, but he also helped the family.
The ability to really not only look at us as medical students and as applicants holistically and as a three-dimensional, complicated, complex person, we are being educated on how our patients are just the same and deserve that same, attention to detail.
Your why has to be the driving force. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Am I 20 years from now going to look back and say, what was I thinking? And I had a lot of long conversations with people, and ultimately actually the dean of this business school at TCU was the one who finally said, you're never going to get another opportunity like this. Take it. This is where I wanted to be. This is the school I wanted to be at.
I had been previously committed to this school. It was in Louisiana. And so I got the call for TCU on Thursday, and that next day, Friday, I was moving in to Louisiana. We had cars rented, U-Hauls ready to go and all that stuff, and I get the call and I just start bawling. And then my immediate reaction was, I have to go here. It would have been so great to get into the TCU School of Medicine. It was my dream school. I wonder what it would have been like to go to Fort Worth and get my white coat.
This is your welcome. These 2 weeks are as
Oh, there's Dr. Erin Nelson and Dr. Joanna Luke welcoming us to the medical school. There are some pretty cool doctors running this place. Visit Fort Worth stopped by and gave us a lot of insight about the city. There's a lot to see and do in my spare time. Oh, hi Dean Burness. She's so nice. I remember her from my admissions interview. We got our official headshots taken and received our TCU ID badges. Look at that smile. This one better be a whole lot better than my undergrad ID photo. That one was tragic.
And you're gonna see an avatar in front of you once I put it on you.
We tried out some of the newest technology in simulation training, the Microsoft HoloLens and HoloAnatomy. Hey, look at that. It's almost like I can touch it. This is even better than I thought. So cool. We met our physician development coaches who will coach us through medical school and the students who will be a part of my Thrive team. Oh my gosh, it was just a dream. I'm gonna be late to the white coat. Wait, where is it going to be again?
Oh, don't forget, it's on Saturday at 10 a.m.
Sorry I'm late. I'm here for the white coat celebration.
It's not here.
Yeah, we're just student workers.
It's not here either. Someone told me where the white coat celebration would be.
The white coat celebration, it is on Saturday at 10 a.m. at TCU
Legends Club.
I made it. Y'all will not believe the dream that I just had. Okay, class of 2026, my friends. Are you guys ready to get your white coats? Yeah, me too. Okay, so we're gonna count down from 10. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, open up your boxes.
Yes. Congratulations, everyone. Take a moment, join your families, take some pictures. Please remember that there are professional photographers at both ends ready to take your family photos for you as well. Congratulations, everyone.